Hi, we would like to welcome you to our agriculture safety and small business resource webinar today. My name is Ronnie Holder Diefenbach, and I am the Executive Director for the Economic Alliance in Okanogan County. And I will go ahead and allow the rest of the panel to introduce themselves today. And we'll go ahead and start with Mitch. You're to my right, so we'll start with you.
Good morning. My name is Mitch Reppett. I'm a safety consultant out of the Moses Lake office. I'll have a short presentation here, and if you have any questions, feel free. My contacts will be on the last slide to reach out at any time.
Brad.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Bradley Farrar. I'm the statewide agricultural safety technical specialist with the Occupational Safety Technical Policy Program at L&I. Some of what I do is I provide technical assistance to internal staff as well as employers and employees and their associations and other stakeholder groups regarding rules related to occupational safety and health in agriculture. So excited to be here with all of you today.
Leonel, you're to my left. And you're on mute.
Hello, my name is Leonel Marcial, and I'm the Outreach Specialist for the Economic Alliance, bilingual, bicultural, and I'm here to learn so we can do a much better job.
And Lou.
Good morning. I'm Lou Blakeney, a business advisor with the Small Business Development Center. My office is in Okanogan, co-located with the Economic Alliance.
Well, welcome to you all. We're really excited to have the speakers that we have here today. I'm going to go ahead and start off the discussion with just giving a little bit of an overview about the Economic Alliance. It amazes me. We've been, this organization has been in existence since, for almost over 30 years now. And there's a lot of people who still ask us, what is the Economic Alliance and what is it that you do? So I've prepared a few things about the Economic Alliance, just so we can give a broad overview and why it's important to us to partner with L&I and with the SBDC to really be able to provide services to small businesses and to our agriculture businesses within Okanogan County. So to start off with, we partner with Okanogan County. We partner with the Small Business Development Center, like Lou mentioned. We're a sponsor of the SBDC. We also are the administrative assistants, provide administrative services to the Okanogan County Tourism Council. So anything that people call, they want to talk about finding information about what is going on in regards to, agritourism, those types of things, they contact our office and we provide them with that information. We also, post-COVID, have created, in partnership with USDA, a small business resource and tech center to really try to help businesses be able to identify and address some of the issues that they were faced with during the COVID pandemic. Business, as many of us know, business as we knew it before COVID hit us, it doesn't look the same. So we've had to evolve and we've had to transition and offer additional resources and services to the business community. And so we created that Small Business Resource and Tech Center to offer some kind of non-traditional type services in regards to the use of technology in economic development and in small business use. So how does the EA work with entrepreneurs and small businesses in rural Okanogan County? One, we invest in partnerships. We work with our partners. We develop relationships like what we're doing with L&I, trying to find out different ways in which we can access and be able to provide information to the small businesses that they might not be able to have access to before, or even understand or know that is out there that can help their business. We try to work with our partners to develop and sustain authentic, trusting relationships. And then we honor diverse voices representing our demographics here in Okanogan County. Okanogan County is the largest state, our county in the state of Washington. We always laugh because it's like people talk about you know, how large their area is. And we're like, we can fit 3 New England states within Okanogan County alone. And we know that New England states aren't necessarily the biggest thing, you know, states that are out there, but in all reality, we could literally fit that. That is a proven demographic. Another thing that we do is try to ensure equitable access to resources and growth opportunities. So we work with all of our chambers, our cities, our counties to, again, provide this information, because we know we can't be the only entity trying to provide this information. So we have to rely upon our partners to help us do so. Education and training, such as this webinar today, to get information out there to our businesses any way that we potentially can, as well as addressing any type of business needs. So if somebody comes in and they need a marketing class, we try to do what we can to bring in a marketing specialist to provide that information, just like what we're doing today with the agriculture sector. You know, there's some needs, there's some things that have been identified that they need training on. So we bring in specialists that can address those specific issues. We provide our one-on-one small business assistance that Lou will be talking about at the end. And then we also help with access to financial assistance and access to capital, utilizing our local banks, our non-traditional lending institutions that we have out there that can help our small businesses. You know, we know, you know, especially post-COVID, we've seen some major issues and challenges that rural businesses face. You know, many of you feel remote and isolated. There's some significant challenges with lack of broadband infrastructure and connectivity. It's a nationwide issue. Workforce housing and affordable housing, which are all things that, again, are not unique to Okanogan County, but because of our remoteness and being isolated, it's that much more transparent. Lack of childcare, our available workforce, and then the public infrastructure that we need specific to growing opportunities. So how do we help find solutions to assist our local businesses? You know, we come to the table when important discussions are happening. So, you know, the Economic Alliance facilitates the Okanogan County and the Colville Confederated Tribes Broadband Action Team. We are part of the Okanogan County Housing Coalition, as well as the State Workforce Economic Development Association's Housing Collaborative. I'm currently the chair of the North Central Washington Workforce Development Council, which is Adams, Grant, Chelan, Douglas, and Okanogan counties, to have discussions critical to the workforce. We know that we can't have economic development without workforce development. We need those bodies to help our businesses get started and grow. And then we sit on the Okanogan Community Health Initiative that has a whole component on economic stability, education, access, and quality, and then also on the North Central Washington Economic Development District, as well as many other programs that we try to work together to find out as much information and identify different resources to help our small businesses. So again, the best way to serve our small business community is we have to be at the table advocating for you and sharing your story at the larger table. Many of the small businesses in our community are micro enterprises. That means 5 or less, which means you're in your business operating, and a lot of times cannot necessarily make it to webinars like this. So we're making sure that we're trying to develop different ways in order for you to access by having a resource library, putting it on Facebook so that you can access it at a later time and have the resources available to you. We've hired a small business outreach, which is Lionel. He also is bilingual, and he is now going into businesses in all of the communities and knocking on doors. So if there's any services that you need and you see his smiley face walking into your business, make sure that you ask him for those, what specific services that you're looking for. And if we do not offer that service at that time, we will definitely make our best effort to finding out what that solution is. And the majority of the time we would definitely be referring you to sit down with Lou, our SBDC small business consultant. So that's it for me. And again, my name is Ronnie Holder Diefenbach, and here's my email address. And you can also contact us at 509-826-5107 if you have any questions, or if you'd like to learn more about the Economic Alliance. I hope that gives you a broader overview of what the Economic Alliance is and some of our priorities and projects that we're working on. But again, it's to make sure that we're connecting our small business community to the resources that are out there and available to them. So again, just like what we have here today, our partners here at LNI are here to also share the resources and information that can help your business be successful and grow. So I'm going to turn this right on over to Brad, and he will do his presentation. And Brad, you should be available to share your screen.
All right, thank you so much. And it's so great to learn about the amazing work that the Okanogan County Economic Alliance conducts, and just happy to be here with everyone today. Give me just a second to get my screen sharing, and then I'll go ahead and get started. So I'm Brad, like I mentioned earlier, I'm Bradley Farrar. I work for the Washington State Department of Agriculture, the Department of Labor and Industries. I previously worked for the Department of Agriculture, and I just haven't gotten that out of my head. But I still work in agriculture. I'm the statewide agricultural safety technical specialist. And today, I'm going to go over a few of the agricultural safety and health requirements, as well as some best practices and some resources that are available. And then also going to talk about some issues that we're commonly seeing in the field related to safety and health in agriculture. But to get started, I want to give a brief introduction of the Department of Labor and Industries as a whole, because it's a fairly large agency and we provide a lot of different services. So just want to give kind of a general idea of what LNI does. We're a diverse state agency, and we're dedicated to the safety, health, and security of Washington's 3.3 million workers. And we help employers meet safety and health standards, and we inspect workplaces when alerted to hazards. We also administer the state's workers' compensation system. So we're similar to a large insurance company where we provide medical and limited wage replacement coverage to workers who suffer job-related injuries and illness. Our rules and enforcement programs also, they help ensure workers are paid what they're owed, that children's and teens' work hours are limited, and that consumers are protected from unsound business practices. And we serve customers in 19 offices throughout Washington state, and we have approximately 2,800 skilled employees that include safety inspectors, claims specialists, nurses, researchers, accountants, labor experts, and support staff. Myself and Mitch, we are housed within the Division of Occupational Safety and Health. So, our focus is protecting the health and safety of workers. And so the Division of Occupational Safety and Health, or DOSH, as we're commonly referred to, we administer Washington's Industrial Safety and Health Act law, and then the way that we enforce that or administer that is by developing and enforcing rules that protect workers from hazardous job conditions. Every year, our inspectors visit about 5,000 workplaces and cite businesses that violate health and safety rules. Also, every year, we conduct about 2,500 free on-site safety and health consultations for employers that request our help in learning how to comply with the rules in their unique workplaces. And we also conduct research into workplace safety and health, which focuses on promoting healthy work environments and preventing workplace injuries and illness. So DOSH is a state OSHA plan, which means we have our own set of rules in Washington state. Those rules have to be at least as effective as federal OSHA, and in many cases we we have rules that have more stringent requirements than federal OSHA. We have several different programs within DOSH. These include our compliance program. So they're the ones that go out and do the inspections, issue citations if they find violations. We have our consultation services, which is an amazing service. It's free and confidential, and Mitch will talk more about it. We also have our education and outreach program, and they provide a lot of great trainings and resources to businesses. And I'll go into more detail about some of the specific education and outreach services that are offered for agriculture. And then we have our technical policy and standards program, which is where I'm housed, which is tasked with rulemaking. One thing that I do want to note is that our services are available for all workers in Washington State, and we serve multiple languages. So we offer a lot of our resources, especially for agriculture. All of our resources that we offer in agriculture are offered in both English and Spanish, and we do serve other languages as needed. And I'll talk real briefly about our agriculture compliance unit. It's a new unit that was formed in 2021. So this in 2021, we launched this new safety team known as the Agriculture Compliance Unit. It consists of 16 new positions. 13 of those are focused entirely on improving safety and health by performing agriculture worksite inspections and looking into safety complaints. So all 13 of those members, they go out and they deal exclusively with agriculture. They're statewide, so they cover the whole state. And then we also have 3 additional people that provide education and outreach to farm operators and employees. Our agriculture compliance unit is led by Steve Yunker. He's based out of Wenatchee. He's been with L&I for a long time. And the reason why this agriculture compliance unit was formed was basically we wanted to ensure that we had a good focus on agriculture, and that we had compliance staff that were familiar with the unique challenges in agriculture and just laser focused on agriculture in general. We still see multiple fatalities in agriculture. Agriculture is one of the largest and most dangerous industries in Washington State. Agriculture is huge in Okanogan, and it is probably all of you know, right? It's dangerous and difficult work. We saw that agricultural fatalities increased in 2020. Labor and Industries carried out an unprecedented 433 agriculture inspections in 2020, citing employers with more than 500 citations. Yet even with all of those inspections, the number of farm worker fatalities increased to 14 in 2020 compared to 10 the previous year. And while 3 of those deaths were caused by COVID-19, the majority of those fatalities were the result of workplace hazards that could have been prevented, including several tractor rollovers and machinery-related incidences. So really, this new ag team, they're focused specifically on improving safety and health in agriculture. By looking for potential hazards that are likely to cause serious injury or death, and by working with employers to fix them. So, one common question we get is, well, what rules apply to agriculture? So we have a specific chapter related to safety standards for agriculture. And that's chapter 296.307 of the Washington Administrative Code. So it applies to all agricultural operations. And this chapter contains the rules for safety standards for agriculture. So, it's the go-to chapter to look at when you're looking at what are the rules related to safety and health in agriculture. One thing to note, ag operations are also covered by our general occupational health standards and also by our hazard communication standards. So there are a couple of other areas where agricultural establishments will need to comply with different chapters of our rules, but the majority of all the rules for agriculture are housed within chapter 307. One thing to note that, occasionally when employees engaged in agricultural operations may also be covered by the safety standards of other industries. For example, if they're constructing something, if you're building something, then that may fall under our construction codes. So you'd really need to be mindful that, even though you're an agricultural operation, if you start performing work that falls outside the normal scope of agriculture, then you may need to comply with other standards. And the most common one is like if you're constructing buildings or something on your farm. So some of the key ag employer responsibilities found in 307. First and foremost, every employer is required to provide a safe and healthful working environment. And you need to make sure that your employees are using proper equipment, that the equipment that they use doesn't cause a hazard. So make sure that this equipment isn't defective or unsafe. Make sure that it's maintained in proper condition and in good working order. Employers are required to implement a written accident prevention program. So that's your safety program or safety plan for your company. You also need to implement a hazard communication program. So hazard communication with chemicals. And you also need to have a system for recording and reporting work-related injuries and illnesses. Employers are required to provide safety education and training programs and to control and prevent exposure to chemical agents. And this is just a brief overview, kind of the key responsibilities. And in looking at this, it seems like a lot. And it entails quite a bit of work to comply with all of these health and safety rules. But we do have a lot of resources available to help you build a safety program, an effective safety program, and we'll talk about those a little bit more. But first, I want to talk about our top 11 rule violations in ag. We're working on getting this data updated, so we're looking at October 2020 to September 2021. We should have this past year's data available soon. But these rule violations, for the most part, year after year, they stay about the same, with the exception of that top one. That temporary worker housing emergency COVID-19 rule. We saw a lot of violations with that. I'm hopeful that we're moving beyond that, and we're not seeing the violations that we were seeing before, and it's becoming less of a problem. But we are continually seeing issues related to pesticides. Agricultural operations apply a lot of chemicals, and employers have a responsibility to keep their workers safe from those chemicals. We understand that they're necessary for the production of agriculture, but they need to be used in a safe an effective manner. And that's why we have the worker protection standard for agricultural workers, for both those that handle, both those that handle pesticides and apply pesticides, and also for people that are working in fields where pesticides have been applied. We see some violations for first aid requirements, and violations for not providing personal protective equipment or not ensuring that the personal protective equipment that is provided is used properly. And we see issues with field sanitation. Field sanitation is, your bathrooms and water that needs to be available for workers. And then also that accident prevention program. Having that written accident prevention program is so important to help train employees about the hazards that they'll face in their workplace, and to have a plan on how to respond to any emergencies. So after looking at these rule violations, I want to jump over to some of the resources that we have available. And the best place to look for our resources is right from our website. Our website is full of resources to help employers build a safety program and to keep their workplaces and workers safe. A few of the resources that you're able to find on our website include a list of all of the safety and health rules and laws. So I spoke about Chapter 307, the agriculture safety requirements. So you'll be able to find that whole chapter there on our website, as well as the rules and laws for other industries. You can also find all of our enforcement policies and rule interpretations. We also have accident prevention program or safety plan templates available. So you don't have to just create your own accident prevention program from scratch. We have templates that can help guide you and simplify the process. We also have training kits, safety posters and publications. We have links to online safety trainings and also toolbox talks. You can also find information about our safety campaigns and safety conferences. And one thing that's really unique about Washington State and agriculture is that we offer what's called a WSHA 10 for agriculture. So it's very similar to OSHA's to an OSHA 10, that 10-hour training for construction workers, but this is a 10-hour training designed for agricultural workers. So Labor and Industries offers a free workplace safety and health training for agriculture. This training can be conducted in English or Spanish. We have all of our trainers are bilingual, and this training really benefits both workers and employers through safer workplaces and fewer accidents. It also promotes a culture of safety and health. And it does this through peer training. So it's a great hands-on training. So we offer that 10-hour training for workers, and we also offer a training of trainers program for supervisors and those that are interested in training workers about agricultural safety. In our WSHA 10 for Agriculture course, class participants, they get to learn about some of the most common agricultural hazards, such as being struck by a machine or an object, falls from heights. Falls from heights are common injuries in agriculture. We utilize ladders to harvest our fruit tree, our tree fruits. There's a risk of climbing up and down the ladder all day, so we do see quite a few falls from heights. So we offer a training to help prevent that, how to use ladders properly and safely. We talk about tractor safety, preventing tractor rollovers. Also talk about we offer training on pesticides, how to be safe around pesticides. We also talk about recognizing workplace hazards how to file a complaint and how to, really most importantly, just how to identify, abate, avoid, and prevent job-related hazards and injuries. Some other resources that are available for agricultural operations can be found at the PNASH, or the Pacific Northwest Agricultural Safety and Health Center. They're based out of the University of Washington, and they provide a ton of just really incredible bilingual agricultural safety resources, including a lot of in-depth best practices and great training material. So we partner with PNASH on a lot of different things. They have some really cool ideas of practical solutions for different workplace hazards, and I really recommend anyone to go to PNASH and look at their resources in addition to the resources that Labor and Industries offers. And I just really want to mention that L&I is here to help you keep your workers safe. We have a lot of different programs that are geared towards helping you be successful in creating a safe and healthy workplace. And I'd say probably one of our best services that we offer is our consultation service. And Mitch is going to talk about that in depth. And I just can't emphasize the importance of it enough. And, I really hope that employers take advantage of that consultation service. But with any questions related to worker safety and health in agriculture, feel free to reach out to me. And I will do my best to put you in contact with the best resources to help you be successful in your agricultural operations and to keep your workers safe and healthy and working.
Thank you so much, Bradley. That was a great presentation. And if possible, I would love to have this so that we can definitely print this out. And as we go out and meet with businesses, hand this presentation to them so that they can have those resources to access. One of the things that we have found, even before COVID hit, but especially post-COVID and the outreach that we've done, is many of our businesses and our business owners don't utilize technology. So a lot of these online resources, they don't know how to access. And so that's one of the things that we're trying to do, is take our laptops out to them, help them be able to access some of those resources, but also have things hard copy so that they can take those materials and be able to access them that way as well. Broadband is a huge issue out here in Okanogan County, as I'm sure that you're probably aware. And just the fact that we have so many business owners who have just literally have not wanted to take that step into trusting technology and being able to access. Many did not even have email addresses, and we're like, how have you operated without an email address? And they're just like, we have no email address. And we're like, we're going to get you an email address so that you could be able to do some of these things. So anyways, thank you so much. And that would be great to get your presentation so we can have it.
Absolutely. And I should mention that we also have a lot of print materials available too. So we'll make sure that we get you supplied with those as well.
Oh, we've got boxes full of
perfect.
And so that's what Leonel's been doing, is he's been handing out and taking, and Lou as well has been taking out a lot of those resources. So, but I think we're almost to the point where we need more. And I'm like, I didn't ever think that I would be going, we need more L&I information, but a lot of the businesses we're finding out don't have those resources. And so that's part of one of the things that we're excited to be able to make sure that, that they know the information before they get to the point where they have an accident or there is a penalty that they're faced with. So, but we'll go ahead and move right on into Mitch's presentation. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Brad. Great job. Let me get this set up here. All right, are you guys seeing the right screen here? Let's see.
It looks good.
All right, so my name's Mitch Reffett. I'm in the Moses Lake office here. In consultation. So this is Region 5. I do actually cover your area up north in the Okanogan area. I do understand what you're saying about the technology. So I've spent 10 years prior to being here working in the ag industry. My dad and brother are still farming currently here in Moses Lake, and my dad, he's old school, doesn't text message, you know, so I'm I'm right there with you with understanding that. But Brad hit some great points on consultation. It's a, as you see the sign here, it's a proactive way to stay in front and basically stay in front of compliance. Because when you introduce yourself to someone and you say you work for the Department of Labor and Industries, the first thing they think of is compliance and someone's here to issue citations. So with consultation, what we do is we come in and we work with you. We're going to look at the same things that they're looking at, but we're going to make sure that you have all those things in order and in line. And we're going to help you no matter what that is. There's no monetary penalties involved with the consultation. So we can offer up to 3 services a year for you, and it's all free. We have safety, which I'm on the safety side, industrial hygiene, which is really good, especially working with farmers because they'll hit the pesticides, they're going to chemicals. I'll get into industrial hygiene here in a minute, ergonomics, and then risk management. Another great benefit of consultation is once you start working with consultation, it takes you off of any, the state runs local emphasis programs. So when they have a local emphasis program, that's when they have a list of businesses, and then that's when they show up on those random inspections. So if you're under consultation, you're going to have 12 months of protection from any random inspection. And so then when 12 months rolls around, we continue to work with you and we build relationships with employers and kind of continue on that protection. But you're also going to know it's not just a protection. You're going to have everything in order, because every time we come out, we're going to look at your accident prevention program, and I'll get into that stuff here in a minute. But we're going to do a walk around. But it's good to know that you're not going to have to worry about that random inspection off of an emphasis list. Do be aware though that if you are working with consultation, if there's a serious accident, an employer complaint, or a referral would be coming from the neighbors. Let's say a farmer's working on the roof of a shop with no fall protection. That's a difference between a referral and a complaint. A complaint is coming from an actual employee calling to complain. The Department of Labor and Industries compliance can still show up for that, even when you're under consultation, but they're going to stay strictly, hopefully, to the complaint or the accident. But it helps quite a bit if you're under consultation, because you're going to have, they're going to know that you're going to have most of your stuff in order. So on the safety side, the side that I'm in, Brad mentioned it earlier, it is a lot. The accident prevention program, we work with a lot of farmers that they don't have anything set up. So like Brad said, we have templates, we have resources on our web page, but as a consultant, I have, all of this stuff saved on my computer, so I can, when I'm working with employers, I can just kind of shoot them over emails, and we can shoot them back and forth and make sure that they're meeting all the minimum requirements of their accident prevention program. On consultation, we do we identify worksite hazards. So we come, we meet with you, and then we do a walk around, and we look at kind of the job site or the farm. And if we identify any hazards, we just jot them down, we talk about them, and we talk about ways that, how can we correct these hazards, and then figure out a plan to get that corrected. We explain safety and health regulations. Especially, there has been times where, if there is a question that we can't answer as consultants, we're going to reach out to Brad, because he's the expert in this area. So if we can't give you the answer right there, which hopefully we can, we will find you an answer and stay in contact with you. So that's the safety side. So industrial hygiene consultation, they're more on the sides of chemical use and storage, pesticides, labeling, confined spaces, a lot of these big grain tanks, different, a lot of farmers. I grew up on a farm, I didn't realize that, once you get inside that grain tank, if there's any corn on the floor, that's considered a confined space. You can't just jump in that tank. So when we come out for a consultation with safety, we always have an industrial hygiene with us. So there's always two of us just to keep you covered on the safety side and also the industrial hygiene side. They also look at noise exposure, biological exposure, air quality concerns. A lot of people don't know this, but our industrial hygienists at no charge can come do noise monitoring, dust monitoring, and all these different things that a lot of these private companies, will try to charge you quite a bit of money to do. We have this all here throughout the state, and it's at no charge. Ergonomics. So correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, I believe we have one ergonomics consultant in the state, one or two. And believe it or not, the most frequent causes of workers' comp claims, are from ergonomic injuries. We try to hit this with on the safety side. So when you have a safety and industrial hygienist consultant out, we look at these as much as we can. But if you wanted to have an ergonomics consultant out, we can definitely arrange that. If you see this picture here on the right hand side, it just shows some of the common injuries, and anyone who's worked in ag long enough, I'm sure, has had that lower back pain that we all get. So it's a great resource to have here as well. And then we also have our risk management consultant. So we work closely with them here in Region 5 and then throughout the state. But they're gonna help explain how workers' compensation premiums are calculated. The connection between a safe workplace and profits. It shows safety pays. Each company, when they start their business, they start out with an experience factor of 1. And so when you start to deviate from that 1, when you're a 0.7, you're paying 30% less than the industry average on your premiums. When you're a 1.3, you're paying 30% more. And then there's also, they get into this quite a bit. We touch this, I know, just enough to be dangerous on this stuff, but we, there's also a way how employees with that, as that experience factor rises and lowers, it also affects the amount of money that comes out of the employees' paychecks. So it's a great buy-in point for those employees who, we call them cowboys, the ones who have always done it this way because this is the way we do it and that's how I'm going to do it. But hey, you got to wear safety glasses, you got to wear your hard hat. So it's a great way, once they kind of understand that how safety pays, and it really does, it affects everybody's paycheck. So and risk management consultants can help you out and explain that quite a bit more in depth. So for consultation, that's what I have here. So I have a list of some of the phone numbers here, but I'm going to recommend that you take the information on this page right here. So this is my direct phone number to my office. It goes straight to my cell phone, and then my email. And if I can't come out personally and help you out, I will find somebody who can. But like I said, I'm in this area as far as consultation goes. And as Brad mentioned earlier, with the new ag division, there's going to be a lot more eyes out there. So it's really time to make sure farmers are getting things in line and getting all their ducks in a row. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to help. And like I said, feel free to call anytime. If I don't answer, I will get back to you. And yeah, I appreciate you having me here today. I'm glad we found a time to get this worked out. Headed to Pullman here in a few hours to go watch the Cougars play Utah. So go Cougs.
That sounds like fun. A lot of fun.
It might
Well,
be a little
thank
bit
you.
cold, but it's going to be fun for sure.
Thank you, Mitch, for that presentation. I think that the key piece to this that I think that employers need to know is that before there's an accident, there's a process that they can go through in order to have, to take advantage of this consultation and invite you out and have the ability for you to come out and look at their business and evaluate what it is that they're doing, especially when somebody, we've seen several instances where there's succession planning, where businesses are being bought and the new owners that are coming in don't necessarily understand, they're walking into a system that's already maybe established, and they don't realize that they're walking into an established thing that's out of compliance. So that should maybe be part of their process when they're purchasing or they're taking over or assuming a new business. And as people change management as well, is looking at some of those ideas of having somebody come in. And I think the preventative piece, we can prevent accidents, which cost money. We can and for a lot of businesses, it's all about that bottom line, like you're mentioning, the cost saving activities that are available that could potentially again impact that bottom line. One accident could put somebody out of business, so preventing that before it happens is a huge piece. So thank you so much. And again, we'll get your PowerPoint presentation and make sure that we share your information for our Eastern Washington consultation. Another one that I was thinking about was, I don't know if you do it specifically, is the heat related, especially out here in Okanogan County and Eastern Washington, when our heat, I think we were the hottest in the state at 118, not this last summer, but the summer before. And especially when we're dealing with ag, our people are out there on the ground outside. So there's a lot of heat related illness and things like that happen because of the fact that, they're out there. So, agriculture is faced with a lot of different things. So we appreciate you guys both coming out and sharing that information. So Lou, you're next.
Well, good morning, everyone. Lou Blakeney, business advisor with the Small Business Development Center. So thank you for the opportunity to share, and I'll try and be quick to save time here. Let's see, Ronnie, I'm already in trouble. Here we go. Okay, Ronnie, I messed up.
Okay, hit the arrow up on the top left, go back. Okay, go up to slideshow where it says slideshow. Click the slideshow. Yep, from beginning.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. The Small Business Development Center, abbreviated as SBDC, is a network of offices across the state and actually across America. So our mission is helping Washington businesses grow and succeed through advising, education, and research. You can see here we are up in the northeast corner of the state, Okanogan County. I'm in the Okanogan office, and you can see most of the offices are located on the west side, but we do. Okay, we have this is 2021 data.
For some reason, it's not.
It's not projected.
Hold on.
Bear with us. I'm new
Yes.
on this particular system.
Okay. Now see.
Okay, so this is information from last year, but we have now over 30 centers across the state. We have over 30, actually over 40 advisors. We have several international trade specialists, and we have one tech business advisor. And again, the Small Business Development Center network, each state across the nation has independent centers. So there's over 4,000 SBDC advisors around the country. And the co-sponsors for the office here in Okanogan, the U.S. Small Business Administration of the federal government, Washington State University, and the Economic Alliance are all co-sponsors of our organization. And how do we accomplish our mission? Well, we provide confidential, face-to-face or virtual objective business advising to clients, focusing on their special needs. And it's customized. It's no cost. We emphasize that, no cost to the client. We have resources, the tools, the knowledge to help clients discover and answer the questions unique to their situation. We don't come in with a plan and tell them what to do. We listen, and then we make recommendations. We don't do the work or make decisions. Again, we're advisor, mentors. We guide them through the discovery process, try and give them resources, help them to make informed decisions, and then that's success for everyone. So who do we help? Pre-ventures, those are the individuals that are considering starting businesses. We work with startups. Those are businesses under 2 years in existence. We work with existing small businesses. We do a fair amount of succession planning. That's where the current owners are wanting to exit their business one way or the other, either to employees or to sell, or various options there. And finally, we do business evaluations, although we're not certified, but we help people to get a feel and give them some tools to try and evaluate what their business might be worth. And so specifically, the advisors offer one-on-one, no-cost confidential advising. And those include, first of all, planning to start or grow a business. We're really big on helping people develop a business plan. So the cliche is, if you don't have a plan, then don't complain when you end up somewhere you don't want to be. So plan ahead, develop your plan and work your plan. That's key to success. We do business startups, helping people through the process of registration with the state agencies, licensing, give them guidance there, advise them where we can on different options to pick and considerations. We assist with the loan process. We're not a lender, but we certainly have been through a lot of helping companies get loans. We help them prepare what's called a loan package, putting together the business plan, the financial projections, all the ingredients are necessary for successful approval of a loan application. We do a fair amount of analyzing financial statements and managing cash flow to help the owner understand where they are. Many people may have a skill or a trade, but they lack some of the business skills, particularly in the accounting area. Sometimes they're really afraid of those, so we try and help them learn what they can. We're not trying to make them accountants, but we try and give them an understanding of how to use financial statements to be successful in managing their business. We do a fair amount of helping people with purchasing or selling businesses. We're not a broker, but there's a lot involved in the process of preparing for sale. There's also a lot in buying the business and analyzing it. We have resources to do market research. We do business systems and record keeping. Again, people being technicians or professionals, maybe they haven't been exposed to record keeping, accounting, setting up how to administratively operate a business. So we give them guidance in that area. We do a fair amount of marketing strategies. That means getting customers, keeping customers, how to communicate, how to make people aware that you're in business, how to attract them. We help some people with the e-commerce, and that's also another resource that we have here at the Economic Alliance, where people need help on getting set up on their various platforms, getting set up for advertising, videos to post on the internet, that sort of thing. Cybersecurity, that's a big area, particularly those that are contracting with the government. You're probably all aware of hackers and internet threats, but in particular, there's vulnerability of non-compliance if somebody is working with a government contract and they are weak in their personal cybersecurity. That's something that could end up with losing the contract, big fines, and so on. So people need to be aware of their responsibilities on cybersecurity of their whatever computer system they have out to the world. And then finally, we have exports. Exporting to markets around the world is a great way for people to expand their markets, expand their sales. And so those that haven't thought of it before, the SBDC may be of help in helping them to consider what opportunities might be, maybe even do research to help them in that area. So there's quite a variety of ways that we help people in the business arena. We also have low or no cost training services. We continually put on webinars throughout the year. Some are, well, initially they are live streaming, and then later they're stored on the internet for on demand. So by being an SBDC client, they have free access to that. And you can see in 2021, there were over 10,000 individuals that went to these training events, and there were over 300 delivered training events. So overall, in summary, last year, the Washington SBDC advised over 3,000 clients and was involved in helping clients raise over 100 million in new capital. So finally, there's our contact information. Again, I'm housed in Okanogan with the offices of the Economic Alliance. You can call the phone number or email me to make an in-person appearance, in-person advising. We also have a system that you can call this phone number and register over the phone as a client, and then have access. We can actually set up a virtual advising by your being a client. With that, I thank you, and I turn it back to Ronnie.
Thank you, Lou. That was a great information. And then if you could just hit stop sharing at the bottom of your page there, that would be great. I appreciate, I think it is really important to have both, you know, when we talk about agriculture and safety and consulting services for our agriculture businesses, to also have the Small Business Development Center there, because I think that there's a link where Mitch is out working with businesses and he might see that they might be struggling, or he's talking to people who might, you know, be struggling just in the operation of their business, and making that connection of knowing that there's something within Okanogan County. And actually, if you're Eastern Washington, you probably work with the SBDC in Grant County, and, you know, because we have them in all of the areas throughout the state. So having that connection and knowing that those resources are available to those businesses, you know. And it also goes the other way, where Lou's working with a business who he might not understand or know about the consultation services, and thinks that they might need to have somebody come in from LNI to give them that opportunity to learn more about what their business can do to be more efficient and to have a better, safe workplace. So, you know, I think both of these things go hand in hand. And so I'm really thankful that we were able to provide this webinar today, and we will definitely be sharing the PowerPoint presentations, and we'll have those available, but we'll also be sharing this webinar again on our Facebook, and then posting it on our website so people can watch it on demand, like Lou mentioned earlier. So thank you all for joining us today, and I appreciate you taking the time. I know everybody is so busy and trying to squeeze everything into our schedules. So again, I appreciate it, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.